Song. Thank you so much for waking up with us on Daybreak. I'm Matt Howerton.
And I'm Dia Wall. In just a few minutes, we'll have an update on that hantavirus outbreak as some of those passengers are back in the U.S. But we want to get you started for your Monday morning with an update on your forecast. Meteorologist Greg Fields and, of course, the commute with Stacia Wilson.
Yeah. Not looking bad out there. Mondays are hard enough, right?
Yeah.
So fortunately right now, I think your traffic's looking pretty good.
All right.
Yeah, those roads drying out there after the widespread rain that we had on Mother's Day. But hopefully you had a nice, pleasant Mother's Day despite the rain and storms. All that is behind us now as we are looking at mostly cloudy skies heading on out the door right now as we take you out to Fort Worth. Good morning. A cool 58 degrees out there right now. Those north winds 9 miles per hour. So yes, it will be noticeably cooler as you step on out the door here early this morning. So those temperatures down in the upper 50s to low 60s all around the area here for you this morning as you get out to Terrell and Canton at 60 degrees, 59 in Greenville right now. Some low 60s though, getting out to Waxahachie at 63. But as we go back up toward Denton, McKinney, upper 50s along the Red River there for Gainesville and Sherman as well here this morning. Not much left at all as far as the rain is concerned. That's tapering off, a few little sprinkles out towards Sulphur Springs, well down to our south and east as well. The shrinking area of showers and storms we had overnight down toward Palestine and Jacksonville here for you this morning. So yes, it will be a cooler start this morning.
All right, Greg, I got it. Let's go ahead and take a look at that traffic. We're just going to see what's happening outside right now, and this basically sums it up. So you see no major backups across the Metroplex, no major accidents to report at this time. Of course, it still is early. We're right at that time where it starts to get busier across the Metroplex. But again, if you're leaving right now, things are looking pretty positive as far as your morning commute is concerned. That's pretty good news for Monday, right? We do see a little bit slower traffic now heading out of downtown Dallas along I-35E. It was also slowing down along portions of Harry Hines on the northbound side. Again, this is just northwest of downtown Dallas. And then right along US 380 in Princeton, you can see traffic that's heading westbound towards Central Expressway, a little bit of a slowdown there. But that about sums it up. Heading out right now, most of your roadways starting to pick up, but no major backups across DFW. Matt, Dia?
All right, Stacia, thank you for that. New overnight, 17 Americans who were on board the cruise ship linked to that deadly hantavirus outbreak are back in the United States. This is video of their arrival in Omaha, Nebraska just hours ago.
Natalie Haddad is in the newsroom this morning with an update as a quarantine period for those people begins.
Hey, good morning to you. Quarantine is now underway. This morning, the Department of Health and Human Services confirms one American passenger has tested positive for the virus and another is showing mild symptoms. They were among the 17 Americans on the cruise ship who were placed on an evacuation flight that arrived from Spain overnight. The passenger who tested positive will be taken to a specialized treatment unit, while the others will be monitored at the National Quarantine Center in Omaha, Nebraska. This is the center that made headlines in 2014 when it was activated for the first time during the Ebola virus outbreak. As for this latest hantavirus outbreak, the strain we're dealing with is the Andes virus. It's the only hantavirus known to spread from person to person. The CDC says it's now operating on a level 3 response. That's the lowest emergency activation. The agency says passengers without symptoms will not face a mandatory quarantine. They can either return home or self-monitor for 42 days and self-monitor for 42 days rather, or they can stay in the quarantine center for observation. Now, the World Health Organization says the strain has killed 3 passengers from the cruise and it has sickened 5 others. Dia?
All right. Thank you so much for that, Natalie. Oil prices jumped again overnight as peace talks with Iran stall. Brent crude, which is the international benchmark, rose 4.2%. U.S. crude also jumped nearly 5%, topping $100 a barrel. Right now, the average cost of gas in North Texas is about $3.97 a gallon. The national average sits at $4.52. We're about 50 cents away from the highest recorded gas prices in 2022 when the Russia-Ukraine war began. Experts say prices are still high while nearly all ships and oil tankers are stuck and unable to travel through the Strait of Hormuz. The U.S. had proposed reopening the strait and in exchange said it would ease the blockade of Iranian ports for 30 days. Iran's response reportedly included a demand to end the war and lift oil sanctions. In response, President Trump said, "I have just read the response from Iran's so-called representatives. I don't like it. totally unacceptable.
This morning, police are looking for the gunman they say shot and killed a security guard in Fort Worth.
It comes as friends and family are pushing for permanent change. This all happened early Sunday in the city's southeast side. Chris Sadeghi joins us live from Fort Worth this morning. And Chris, you've got the message from his loved ones as police are still investigating.
Yes, Dia, his friends and family not only mourning him, but asking the city to take a hard look at the after-hours business where he was working security. Police say that Dominique Coleman was working security at Club New Start and crossed the street to speak with someone. At that point, some kind of confrontation began, and police say someone began shooting, hitting Coleman and another woman. The woman will survive, but Coleman died on the scene. The shooter has not been found. This all happened at 5:45 in the morning Sunday at the club that stays open after hours. And friends of Coleman say they want the city to help them shut down the club because of the unwanted people and unwanted activity it draws to the community in those overnight hours. One of Coleman's church leaders told us he worked nights at the club to help provide for his family.
He's not going to be the one to go and start a problem. He's going to come do his little night job and that he's been doing for over a decade. And he's just an all-around good guy, a father who does things like this to help take care of his children.
And the community members we spoke to say they plan on protesting against Club New Start. We reached out to the club for comment and so far have not heard back. Matt and Dia, back to you.
All right, thank you so much, Chris. This is similar to a shooting that we first covered on Daybreak last week. A security guard was killed in Deep Ellum last Tuesday night while trying to break up a fight. It happened at La Tardiada, which has temporarily closed as it cooperates with the Dallas police in their investigation about all this. 26-year-old Joseph Gray died, and police say a 23-year-old was arrested and charged with murder. The restaurant says it wants to give the staff and community time to grieve.
Now let's get to three things that you need to know this morning. President Trump heads to China this week for a critical summit. It's the first U.S. presidential trip to China in nearly a decade. While the focus is supposed to be on economic relations, the war in Iran may impact the dynamics of the visit. China is a key ally to Iran. If you saw a post about tattoos becoming illegal in Texas in 2028, it's not true. The topic was a top statewide Google trend in Texas over the weekend. The social media post included this fake press release with the governor's seal on it and a date of 2024. That's the big giveaway, y'all. There wasn't even a legislative session that year. And the Dr. Pepper Museum in Waco just unveiled the world's largest Dr. Pepper bottle. It's in honor of the museum's 35th anniversary. The 23-foot bottle is on display in the museum's courtyard there, and 23 feet for, you guessed it, the 23 flavors in the Texas favorite. Dr. Pepper was first created in Waco in 1885.
The 9th pick in the NBA draft belongs to the Dallas Mavericks.
All right, no number one overall pick for the Mavs this year. The team will have the 9th pick in next month's draft. It was the second most likely landing spot for the Mavs with a new GM and president of basketball in place. It will be interesting to see what they do with the pick. The NBA draft is June 23rd right here on WFAA. And Cooper Flagg, Rookie of the Year, hanging out in Turks and Caicos this weekend, enjoying the time off.
Listen, we're not talking about what Cooper is doing at his off time, okay? He is off the clock.
Mike Leslie talked about it. I just felt like maybe it's worth a mention.
No. But I see you, Coop. I was not familiar with your game, my guy. It is a little bit bittersweet looking at that 2025 video of the draft from the Mavs. I'm like, let's just hope this next season's a little bit sweeter.
I know there's a lot of controversy around that. I don't think there's any tampering. I think the Mavs got it on their own, all right? That lottery worked. Okay, time right now is 6:09 in the morning. Here's what's still to come this Monday on Daybreak.
New questions after a Frontier Airlines plane hit a person on the runway during takeoff, forcing a chaotic evacuation. ABC's Gio Benitez joins us at 6:30 as the investigation begins.
I saw a bobcat attacking her, like sticking his teeth into her.
A backyard attack as wildlife experts dropping a warning as North Texas grows. That's at 6:30.
All eyes are on Red Oak tonight as city leaders prepare to vote on a massive data center project. Coming up at 6:30, why this 800-acre proposal has residents packing City Hall.
And while this week looks a bit more quiet than yesterday, we are looking at an unsettled pattern as we head towards next week and beyond the 14-day.
All right, we're looking at some cool temperatures. It's dry, rain-free heading out the door, but a nice warm-up coming our way. If you like 90s, we've got that in the forecast this week. We'll have more when Daybreak continues. Taking you out to Fort Worth this morning on this Monday morning. Grab the jacket and sweater heading out the door.